Taylor Swift released Red Taylor's version today, which is her re-recording that pretty awesome album. She includes the songs that were included on various deluxe editions of the album, but I'm going to jump to the songs that we haven't heard before. And I think I'm starting at the right point. I did some Googling, and yeah, I think I'm starting at the point where we have not heard these recordings before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to each track for the very first time and then give you my immediate thoughts about each track. So we're going to start with Better Man. So as I've done before, I've made notes about this track. I'll do it with each track because I want to remember the stuff when I'm now telling it to you. So knowing that Taylor was going to record the song, I thought, oh man, she's got to somehow match the Little Big Town version of this. Little Big Town has possibly the best harmonies in music. When they blend those voices together, they sound absolutely incredible. So I wasn't sure what Taylor was going to do, but she matches it. I don't know who sings the harmonies. I tried to look it up online to see who was singing the background vocals, but they are incredible. They really blend their voices well, beautifully with Taylor's. So yeah, she matches Little Big Town's version of this. The only thing I would say is right at 3:15 of this track, it gets to a sparse moment, and Little Big Town really pulled it back. Their vocals were very muted. Taylor doesn't go as far, and I liked Little Big Town's more muted version of that. So that was the only part where I thought, oh, I liked Little Big Town's version better in that regard. But yeah, I don't want to make this Little Big Town versus Taylor Swift. Of course, it's going to happen because we've heard both these versions now. But no, Taylor does a great job with this, and yeah, I mean, she won a Grammy for Best Country Song with this, so it's an outstanding song, and Taylor definitely makes it her own. Nothing New is the next track, and when it starts, I thought it was going to be a song about the expectations of women by society, which is a very powerful subject matter. But then what it ends up being is Taylor, as a 21-year-old, already pondering what the future is going to be like for her when she's no longer the hot new thing in pop music. So luckily, Taylor is still as big as she was when she was 21, now as a 31-year-old singing the song and recording the song. But it's really powerful to hear someone talk about the cycle of pop music and what that does to an individual. I like Phoebe Bridgers on this. Taylor hasn't done a lot of collaborations throughout her career, so there's a novelty to hearing her sing with someone else, so I like that. The only thing I wanted in the song was I wanted a little addition of like kind of like an eccentric electronic sound, like almost like Maggie Rogers-esque. Like this song was almost too acoustic for me. I didn't want them to make it like, you know, a pop song, but I just wanted some little kind of odd electronic thing to just mix it up a little bit in terms of the production. But no, this is definitely a standout. Babe. So like Better Man, we are very familiar with this track because Taylor gave it to Sugarland to record a few years ago, and Taylor was even on that track. So I thought, oh, this is going to be interesting because yeah, Taylor was already on the original, so now it's just Taylor. So how can this not be a lesser version? So it was a tall task for her to do, but once again, she made it her own. Like the opening, she sings "What About Your Promises, Promises," which I believe that wasn't in the original. That was a little addition that she put in just the intro. I was trying to think why she cut this song from the album Red, because this song is so good. The only thing I thought was that the chorus, she goes, yeah, how could you do this, babe, babe, babe? And you could see a similar to it with loving you is red. So I thought maybe that's the reason that she cut it. Obviously, this is a super catchy song. And there was one part that really took me back. I immediately went, whoa, and had to rewind it. It's right when the breakdown happens, which goes, how could you do this, babe? And it drops into just like the drums, which was when Taylor's vocals kind of came in on the Sugarland version. But this, she had like a little like jolt of like trumpets, like these little like just like these quick notes by trumpets, which I love. So yeah, when it happened, I was like, whoa, and then immediately rewound it. So once again, Taylor made this song her own. Message in a Bottle. So it has Taylor in like super sweet love mode. It's a catchy pop song. Like, I mean, Taylor is the queen of writing catchy pop songs. But this song felt like old Taylor Swift. Like it felt like Love Story. It felt like You Belong With Me. I can easily see why she cut this from the album, because Red, the album, was such a progression for her in terms of the production, in terms of the songwriting, that yeah, Message in a Bottle seems very dated in terms of like, yeah, those first 3 albums of Taylor's. That yeah, this is still a catchy song, of course, but yeah, it feels like something that Taylor has done before. So I saw why she cut it, and yeah, I wasn't really digging the song either because I've heard it before from Taylor Swift. Next track, I Bet You Think About Me. So I guess it's Taylor like, I Bet You Think About Me, but I forgot that you existed. I love that song, by the way. So what else? Yeah, so I love the harmonica transition that is like after each chorus here. Obviously, when she wrote this, she was 22, and this is right around when Taylor was probably meeting a lot of Hollywood types because she's singing about the kind of this pompous lifestyle that these people have that grew up in Beverly Hills. It could be about Jake Gyllenhaal again. Obviously, All Too Well is about him as well, so it could be about him specifically, or it just could be about her being introduced to these Hollywood types as, of course, she explodes in her career. So it's interesting to hear her sing about that. Yeah, Taylor certainly knows how to cut into someone. Like her lyrics are just so devastating sometimes, but we just got to talk about this. So featuring Chris Stapleton. Okay, here we go. He like sings harmony, and it's even like it doesn't even use his range. He's just like kind of in a very like small range of notes, like kind of like his mid-range doing harmony. Like it's almost criminal that like you have Chris Stapleton on a song and that's all he's doing, like harmony and like very simple harmony. So yeah, for that reason alone, like this song, like come on Taylor, like you got to use Chris if you're gonna get Chris Stapleton to be on a song, like you got to use Chris Stapleton. Forever Winter. So I love the trumpet opening. Like I love that she's using a little bit of brass instruments in there. And yeah, so this song like is about someone really struggling with their mental health. I'm sure fans already know who this song is about. I'm not sure who it's about, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's really, really a fascinating song. It's one of those Taylor Swift songs that you turn up the volume and you just really hone in on the lyrics. Like she's such a great storyteller, and not many artists can do that. Where you really want to hear every single word they're saying. Yeah, she's incredible. I think her and Miranda Lambert are the two best songwriters in music. They just are so good at putting lyrics together and phrases together that, yeah, so this is an outstanding, it really shows what a great songwriter Taylor is with this track. So yeah, this is probably my favorite so far of the new tracks that we're hearing. Run. So another collaboration with Ed Sheeran. Obviously one of them made the album with Everything Has Changed. That's a fantastic song, and clearly these two make great music together. I loved when the chorus hit. The chorus really took me back because I guess they layered their vocals, so it almost makes them sound like they're a choir. But yeah, it's a really kind of acoustic song starting out. So the sound of like almost like a choir coming in there was very, very cool. And when Ed sings solo on his verse, it's one of those moments that really kind of stops you in your tracks. Like he just sounds so good on this. So yeah, this is an outstanding track. The Very First Night. So like Message in the Bottle, this is a song like I'm very indifferent to. It's a solid song. Once again, I don't think Taylor Swift can write a bad song, but I feel like I've heard every aspect of this song from Taylor Swift before, from the production to the songwriting. It's certainly not a terrible song, but I can see why it was cut. Like it doesn't add anything to her library of music. All Too Well. So we know the 5-minute version of the song very well. So now we get the 10-minute version, and usually with a 10-minute version or a song of this length, there's going to be a huge instrumental section or like a section that really takes the song in a different direction. But no, this is 10 minutes of Taylor telling us how this guy broke her heart. And you'd think that would become repetitive or like just unnecessary, or like, okay, Taylor, we get it. But it doesn't. Like it's completely compelling all the way through. And I think it's because Taylor still stays so structured. Like it's not just her like kind of spewing at the mouth and this guy did this to me. No, it's still very structured in how she's telling the story. So it's fascinating. Yeah, I was completely compelled for the whole 10 minutes. So it's a bit of a mixed bag with these From the Vault tracks on Red Taylor's version. So yeah, Better Man and Babe, she made those her own. The 10-minute version of All Too Well totally works. Run and Forever Winter are fantastic. Message in a Bottle and The Very First Night are tossaways. And then yeah, I Bet You Think About Me is almost criminal, the usage of Chris Stapleton. But yeah, what did you think of these extra tracks? What were your favorites from the vault on Red Taylor's version?